it'll start with a sketch that I'll do little seeds of ideas, and the material emerges with the making process. Hello, I'm Kaya Joan, and welcome to my studio tour. I'm an artist living and working, born and raised in Toronto, where the trees stand tall and the water dish with one spoon treaty territory. Something about my studio that really fuels my creativity is the fact that I am surrounded by all of my materials and all of the tools that I use to make. I work very interdisciplinary, so I like combining materials together. I like working in collage, and being able to see everything is really helpful for when I'm in the flow of making and I can just grab things as needed. And a lot of my materials also have really special energy to me. I've been gifted a lot of the things that I use, and I also find a lot of materials. So being able to combine all of the things that I use together in one space and to have access to all of them is definitely my favorite thing about working in a studio space. So my practice involves a lot of different methods of making, and in terms of the kinds of artwork that I create, I think it really depends on how I'm feeling and what sort of process I feel drawn to. Sometimes I'll feel like painting, sometimes I'll feel like drawing, sometimes I'll feel like doing something that's more tactile, like sewing or sculpting. I write a lot. Writing is actually a really large part of my practice, and I really love writing poetry. I love writing short stories. I've been writing my whole life, so I love having this on hand, just hanging on the wall in my studio for me to grab and write down whatever thoughts I'm having. I have a quilt that I've been working on for over a year now, so that's a slow going process, and I'm actually really enjoying taking that project slowly because a lot of the time the work that I do, the deadlines are super quick and I have to get things done quickly, or I feel this urgency to make as much work as possible, but that's not always the best flow to be in. Sometimes I do want to take more time with what I'm creating and let it breathe and sit with it for longer to see what it wants to become. One of my favorite tools is this marker. It's a bold Montana ink, alcohol-based ink, permanent ink. And this is one of my favorite materials because it dries instantly. It's a super thick, super nice black line that you can get with this, and it drips sometimes really nicely on more smooth surfaces. I can use it on all sorts of different surfaces. So is very much reminiscent of the genesis of a lot of my inspiration for art, which is graffiti and tagging. So this is a tagging marker, but I use it on all surfaces, paper, wood. So I really love this tool. My other favorite tool is something that is more of a tome, if you will. It's like something that I use for inspiration, for research, just for creative energy. And it's this book, this fairies book. And it was my great-grandmother's, and so I think that it carries a really special energy. You can see it's like falling apart. I want to rebind this book, actually. That's one of my future projects. I used to look at this book all the time growing up, and it's just full of all of these incredible mythical creatures, and a lot of my work involves mythical creatures and beings from other realms. So yeah, this book is really special to me. I think first and foremost, land inspires me to create, and like my relationship with place and the way I experience place growing up in Toronto. as an Afro-Indigenous queer person, all the experiences of being raised here and all the stories I carry with me, as well as my family. My family inspires me to create because they're very supportive of me being an artist, which I'm really grateful for. Thank you so much for joining me in my studio, joining me outside my studio, and listening to a bit about my practice, Kanien'kehá. I very much appreciate it. Take care. Peace.